Hyunwoo stared at the screen until his eyes hurt. The numbers kept going down. Always down. Never up. 3 more defense stations gone, he said quietly. Nobody answered. Nobody had the energy to answer anymore. The communication room was dark except for the glow of monitors. Hyunwoo sat alone at his station, watching his world die in real time. Outside the reinforced windows, the sky burned orange. The machines were getting closer. They called them the Harvest. Nobody knew where they came from. Nobody knew what they wanted. They just came, destroyed everything, and moved on. World after world, species after species. Now it was Velrath's turn. Hyunwoo pressed his hand against his face. He had not slept in 2 days. Maybe 3. Time felt strange now. When death was coming, hours and minutes stopped meaning much. Still no response from the coalition? A voice asked. Hyunwoo turned. Nari stood in the doorway. The chief scientist looked as tired as he felt. Her uniform was dirty and torn at the sleeve. Everyone looked like that now. No response, Hyunwoo said. Same as yesterday. Same as the day before. Same as last month. Nari walked to his station and looked at the screens. Her face showed no surprise. Just acceptance. They abandoned us. Yes, all of them? Yes, she nodded slowly. I suppose we were never important enough. A small colony, far from the central worlds. Easy to forget. Hyunwoo felt anger rise in his chest. 3 cycles ago, the coalition said they would help. They said no world would face the Harvest alone. They lied. When the Harvest came to Velrath, the coalition retreated. Too dangerous, they said. Too costly. Not worth the risk. How long do we have? Nari asked. Days, maybe less. Days, she repeated. She laughed, but it was not a happy sound. We held out for 3 cycles. And now we have days. Hyunwoo looked at his screens again. So many messages sent. So many calls for help. All ignored. The entire galaxy had decided that Velrath did not matter. I should get back to the lab, Nari said. Governor Daehyun wants me to finish the cultural archive. So something of us survives. Even if we do not. She turned to leave, but Hyunwoo spoke. Wait, I found something. Nari stopped. Found what? An old relay station. In the eastern mountains. It was built hundreds of years ago. Before we joined the coalition, back when we were still exploring, still sending signals into empty space. And it still works, barely. The power core is almost dead, but I could get 1 transmission out. Maybe 2, Nari frowned. To where? Everyone in known space has ignored us. Not known space, Hyunwoo said. His hands moved across the controls. Beyond it. There are coordinates in the old database. Random points in unexplored sectors, places we sent signals to centuries ago hoping someone might hear. That is desperate. We are desperate. Nari was quiet for a moment. Then she nodded. Do it. What do we have to lose? After she left, Hyunwoo began working. He pulled up the old database. Hundreds of coordinates. Thousands. The ancient Velrathi had been so hopeful back then. So eager to find others. To make friends in the vast darkness, they found others. They joined the coalition. And now when they needed those friends most, there was only silence. Hyunwoo prepared the message.
He included everything.
Their history. Their culture. Their achievements. Images of their cities. Recordings of their music. And at the end, a simple message. We are about to die. We fought as long as we could. We called for help. No one came. This is our last transmission. To whoever receives this, please remember that we existed. Please remember Velrath. Please remember us. His finger hovered over the send button. This was foolish. These coordinates led to nowhere. To empty space. To dead worlds or no worlds at all, but what else was there? He pressed send, the system hummed. The old relay groaned with effort. Hyunwoo watched as the signal left Velrath, split into hundreds of copies and scattered across space like seeds thrown to the wind. Then silence. Hyunwoo sat back in his chair. He felt empty. He had done everything he could. It changed nothing. Hours passed. Hyunwoo dozed at his station. When he woke, the sky was darker. More orange than before. The harvest was in the upper atmosphere now. Tomorrow they would be on the ground. His screen blinked. Hyunwoo blinked too. He must be seeing things. Too tired. Too stressed. The screen blinked again. Incoming transmission, the computer said in its calm voice. Origin unknown. Language unknown. Hyunwoo sat up straight. His heart pounded. Play it. Strange sounds filled the room. Not words he knew. Not any language in the coalition database. But it was a voice. Someone was speaking. Computer analyze, analysis complete. Message reads, coordinates received. Hold position. Hyunwoo stared at the screen. Someone answered. Someone out there in the dark received his message and answered. Source identification. The computer hummed. Translating signature, complete. Source identified as human. Earth Expeditionary Fleet. Human? Hyunwoo said the word slowly. He had never heard it before. Computer search database for species classification, human. Searching. 1 entry found. Warning. File is over 200 cycles old. Classification, pre-contact species. Status quarantined. Reason. Unsuitable for coalition integration. Notes, extreme aggression. Resistance to authority. Deemed dangerous. Hyunwoo read the entry twice. Then a third time. A dangerous species, aggressive, refused to follow coalition rules. So dangerous they were locked away from the rest of the galaxy, and they were the ones who answered. Hold position. Hyunwoo repeated the words from the message. Hold position for what? He ran to find Governor Daehyun. The old governor was in the command center, surrounded by military officers. They were planning the final evacuation, getting civilians into the deep shelters. A last desperate attempt to save some lives. Governor! Hyunwoo shouted. Someone answered. Everyone stopped talking. Governor Daehyun turned slowly. What? My transmission. Someone answered. They said to hold position. They are coming. Who? Daehyun asked. Who is coming? Humans, Hyunwoo said. From Earth. The room went silent. Then everyone started talking at once. Hyunwoo explained everything. The old relay. The message. The response. The mysterious humans. Captain Minho, the fleet commander, pulled up the old database entry. He read it and shook his head. This says they are dangerous, aggressive. The coalition locked them away. The coalition also abandoned us, Hyunwoo said. These humans did not. Governor Daehyun raised his hand. The room went quiet. If there is even a small chance of help, we take it. Tell these humans we will hold position. Tell them to hurry, Hyunwoo sent the response. He did not know if the humans would actually come. He did not know if they could help even if they did. But for the first time in 3 cycles, he felt something he thought was dead. Hope. The meeting room was full of people, but nobody spoke. They all stared at the hologram in the center of the table. It showed a single word in an unknown alphabet with the translation below. Human. This could be a mistake, Captain Minho said. A glitch in our systems. We are all exhausted, desperate. Maybe we are seeing things that are not there. I checked 3 times, Hyunwoo said. The transmission is real. Someone answered us. Nari tapped her fingers on the table. I have been reading the old files. Everything we have on humans. It is not much. Just notes from 200 cycles ago when the coalition made first contact with them. And? Governor Daehyun asked. And the coalition tried to integrate Earth into their territory. The humans refused. They said they would not be second-class members. They wanted equal status immediately. The coalition said no. Humans had to prove themselves first. Earn their place over time like everyone else. What happened? Taeyang asked. The young pilot sat near the back of the room listening carefully. The humans said no again. The coalition sent warships to force compliance. The humans fought back. Nari paused. And won. The room erupted in whispers. Captain Minho leaned forward. A pre-contact species defeated coalition warships? According to these files, yes. The humans used tactics the coalition considered barbaric. Suicide attacks. Weapons banned by galactic law. They destroyed 3 coalition fleets before the council decided Earth was too costly to take. So they put a quarantine around human space and declared them off limits. Barbarians, Minho said quietly. Barbarians who answered our call, Hyunwoo said. When no one else did, Jisoo, the medical officer, spoke from her seat near the wall. I have been in the hospitals. I have seen the wounded, the dying. I have held children while they cried for parents who will never come home. If these humans can help us, I do not care if they are barbarians. Daehyun nodded slowly. How long until they arrive? They said 48 hours, Hyunwoo answered. 48 hours, Daehyun repeated. He looked at the military officers. Can we hold that long? Captain Minho studied a tactical display. Red markers covered the map. Each one was a harvest machine. There were so many red markers that the map looked like it was bleeding. Maybe, if we pull everyone back to the inner defense line, If we sacrifice the outer settlements, if we are very, very lucky. Do it, Daehyun ordered. Order all civilians to the underground shelters. All defense forces to the inner line. We hold for 48 hours. The meeting ended. People rushed to their posts. Hyunwoo returned to his communication station and sent another message to the humans. He told them about the harvest. About how many there were. About how little time they had. The human response came quickly. Understood. Preparing for combat. ETA unchanged, that was all. No promises. No reassurance. Just acknowledgement. Hyunwoo wanted to ask so many questions. Who were these humans? Why were they coming? How could they possibly fight the harvest when the entire coalition could not? But there was no time for questions. Outside, alarms began to sound. The harvest was advancing. In the hospital, Jisoo worked without stopping. More wounded arrived every hour. She had run out of most medicines 2 weeks ago. Now she could only bandage wounds and offer comfort. It was not enough. It was never enough. A little girl sat in the corner of the medical bay. Her name was Yuna. She was 7 cycles old. Her parents died in the first harvest attack on their settlement. Jisoo had been taking care of her since then. Jisoo? Yuna asked quietly. Are the humans really coming? Jisoo finished wrapping a soldier's arm and turned to the child. Yes, they said they are coming. Will they save us? Jisoo knelt down and held Yuna's small hands. I do not know, little one. But they are trying. And that is more than anyone else has done, Yuna nodded. She was too young to understand everything, but old enough to know they were in danger. I am scared, I know. I am scared too. But you are a grown-up. Grown-ups are not supposed to be scared. Jisoo smiled sadly. Grown-ups get scared. We just have to be brave anyway. In the pilot ready room, Taeyang checked his fighter for the 10th time. Everything was as ready as it could be. His ship was old, damaged, running on backup systems, but it could still fly. It could still fight. Another pilot, Sora, sat next to him. She was older, more experienced. She had been fighting the harvest since the first day they arrived. You heard about the humans? Taeyang asked. I heard, Sora said. She did not look up from her weapon check. Do you think they are real? Does it matter? What do you mean? Sora finally looked at him. Her eyes were tired. Real or not, we still have to fight. Still have to try. The humans might save us. They might not. Either way, we do our duty. Taeyang nodded. She was right. But he wanted to hope. He needed to hope. The first day passed slowly. The harvest pressed against the inner defense line. The Velrothi forces held, but barely. They lost 2 more defense stations. 37 fighters. Hundreds of soldiers. The second day was worse. The harvest adapted. They always adapted. They learned the defense patterns and found the weak points. By evening, they had broken through the northern line. Captain Minho ordered a retreat. Fall back to the final line. All remaining forces to the capital city. This is our last stand. In his command center, Governor Daehyun watched the tactical displays with dead eyes. He had sent messages to the other colonies. To anyone who might remember Velrath, goodbye messages, final words. Hyunwoo remained at his communication station. He had not left it in 48 hours. He kept the channel to the humans open, waiting, hoping. Then his screen flashed. Incoming transmission. Source, human fleet, play it, Hyunwoo shouted. The same strange voice from before. The computer translated, Human Expeditionary Fleet Entering System. Beginning combat operations. Stay in shelters. Do not interfere. They are here, Hyunwoo whispered. Then louder. They are here. He pulled up the long-range sensors. His breath caught. 12 ships were dropping out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the system. 12 ships. Just 12. Hyunwoo counted the harvest machines on sensors. Thousands. There were thousands of them. 12 ships, Captain Minho said. He stood behind Hyunwoo, watching the same display. They sent 12 ships against an army. Maybe they have powerful weapons, Hyunwoo said. But his voice shook. 12 ships. How could 12 ships make any difference? The human fleet moved deeper into the system. They did not slow down. They did not call for reinforcements. They just came faster and faster directly toward the cloud of harvest machines. What are they doing? Minho asked. Why are they not stopping? Why are they not forming a defensive position? Hyunwoo had no answer. He just watched. The harvest machines detected the human fleet. They stopped their advance on Velroth. All of them turned to face this new threat. Thousands of harvest machines all moving toward 12 human ships. This is suicide, Minho said. They are going to die. But Hyunwoo remembered what Nari said. Humans fought the coalition and won. Humans used tactics others considered barbaric. Maybe that was what they needed. Maybe civilized tactics could not beat the harvest. Maybe it took barbarians. The human ships reached weapons range. The harvest machines opened fire. Space lit up with energy beams and missiles. The humans fired back, and then the battle began. In the shelters, people listened to reports from the surface. In the hospitals, Jisoo held Yuna close. In the pilot ready room, Taeyang waited with his squadron. In the command center, Governor Daehyun prayed to gods he no longer believed in. And in the communication room, Hyunwoo watched 12 human ships charge into an army of thousands. He did not know if the humans would win. But they came. When no one else did, they came. That had to mean something. The human ships did not fight like anything Hyunwoo had ever seen. They did not form defensive lines. They did not establish protected positions. They did not follow any tactical doctrine Hyunwoo recognized. They just attacked. This is chaos, Captain Minho said, watching the displays in disbelief. They have no formation, no strategy. They are just everywhere. It was true. The 12 human ships moved in patterns that made no sense. They split up, came back together, scattered again. Sometimes they flew straight at harvest machines. Sometimes they dodged and weaved. There was no pattern, no order, but it was working. How many harvest machines have they destroyed? Governor Daehyun asked. Hyunwoo checked his screens. 47. No, wait, 53, 58. He looked up in shock. They are destroying one every few seconds. A harvest capital machine, 3 times larger than the others, moved to intercept a human ship. The human ship turned toward it. Hyunwoo expected the ship to fire weapons or launch missiles. Instead, the ship accelerated. Faster, faster, directly at the harvest machine. What is it doing? Minho asked. It will crash. That is what it wants to do, Nari said quietly. She had come to the command center to watch. Look at the trajectory. It is going to ram. That is suicide. The human ship hit the harvest machine at incredible speed. The explosion was so bright that the sensors overloaded for a moment. When they cleared, both the ship and the harvest machine were gone. Just debris floating in space. They killed themselves, Hyunwoo whispered. They killed it, Nari corrected. The harvest capital machine needed 10 of our ships to destroy. The humans did it with 1. By sacrificing it, more human ships used the same tactic. Small craft launched from the larger ships, hundreds of them. Thousands. They flew like swarms of insects crashing into harvest machines, each one an explosion, each one a life given. Intercepting human communications, the computer announced. Translating. Sound filled the command center. Voices speaking that strange human language. The computer translated in real time, and what Hyunwoo heard made no sense. The humans were laughing. Did they just make a joke? Minho asked, listening in confusion. They are in combat. Why are they joking? Music began playing on the human channel. Loud, rhythmic, aggressive music. The humans were playing music while they fought. This is insane, Minho said. They are insane. They are winning, Daehyun said simply. It was true. The harvest machines were dying, fast. The humans used weapons Hyunwoo had never seen. Missiles that split into dozens of smaller missiles. Energy beams that curved around obstacles. Nuclear explosives that the civilized galaxy banned centuries ago. And those ramming attacks, over and over. Human ships sacrificing themselves to take down larger harvest machines. Do they value their lives so little? Jisoo asked. She had come to watch too, leaving Yuna with another medical officer. Do they not fear death? I think they fear failure more, Nari said. A new type of weapon appeared. Human ships dropped small objects as they flew past harvest machines. The objects looked harmless. Then they exploded, not with fire or energy, but with incredible force. Kinetic weapons. Rocks and metal accelerated to massive speeds. Barbaric, Minho said. But he said it with respect now. The harvest adapted. They always adapted. They began to predict human movements, counter their tactics. The battle slowed. The easy kills were done. Now it became harder. But the humans adapted too, and faster. They started doing things Hyunwoo could not explain. Things that seemed to break the laws of physics. Ships moving in ways that should tear them apart. Weapons firing at angles that should be impossible. It was as if the humans did not care about rules. Not galactic law, Not tactical doctrine. Not even natural law. How long has it been? Daehyun asked. 4 hours, Hyunwoo answered. 4 hours. And they have destroyed half the harvest fleet. In the pilot-ready room, Taeyang watched the battle on a view screen. His squadron had been ordered to stay grounded. The humans said not to interfere, but Taeyang wanted to help, wanted to fight alongside them. Look at that move, Sora said, pointing at the screen. A human fighter was being chased by 3 harvest machines. Instead of running, it stopped. Just stopped in space. The harvest machines flew past, confused. The human ship destroyed all 3 before they could turn around. I have never seen that tactic, Taeyang said. Because it should not work. But somehow it did. Taeyang studied the human combat style. No 2 ships fought the same way. Each pilot seemed to have their own style, their own tricks. It was personal, individual. Nothing like the coordinated, standardized combat the coalition taught. They fight like each battle is personal, Taeyang said, like it means something to them. Maybe it does, Sora replied. The battle reached its 6th hour. The harvest had lost over 3,000 machines, but they still had thousands more. And the humans had lost 4 ships. Then something changed. A massive harvest machine, larger than any before, entered the battle. It was a command ship, the one controlling all the others. It had stayed hidden until now, watching, learning. It targeted a human ship and fired. The human ship tried to dodge but was too slow. The beam cut through it. The ship exploded. The human channel went quiet. The music stopped. For the first time, the humans were not laughing. Then a voice spoke. Calm, cold. The computer translated. Target identified. Command ship. All units focus fire. Every human ship turned toward the command machine. Every weapon aimed at it. The humans stopped fighting the other harvest machines. Stopped attacking. Stopped defending. They just focused on that one target. The command ship fired again. And again. It destroyed 2 more human ships. But the humans did not stop. Did not retreat. They kept coming. They are going to lose, Minho said. They cannot win this. But Hyunwoo saw something on his sensors. Something the harvest command ship did not see. 3 human ships had moved to the far side of the harvest fleet. While everyone watched the main battle, these 3 ships had positioned themselves behind the command ship. They planned this, Hyunwoo said. The attack from the front was a distraction. The 3 ships fired everything they had. Every missile, every energy weapon, every kinetic round. All at once, all at the same target. The harvest command ship's shields held, for a moment. Then they failed. The 3 human ships rammed the exposed hull. The explosion was massive. Debris scattered across space. The command ship broke apart, died. And then something incredible happened. Every harvest machine stopped. They just stopped moving, stopped fighting. Their intelligence came from the command ship. Without it, they were nothing. Just empty metal. A transmission came from the harvest fleet. It was a surrender protocol. A signal they had never broadcast before. A message saying they would retreat. Hyunwoo quickly translated it. They are offering to surrender. To leave peacefully. They have never done this before, never. Finally, Minho said with relief. The humans will accept. The battle is over. But the human response was simple. Negative. No surrender accepted. What? Minho stared at the screen. What do they mean, no surrender? The humans kept firing, kept destroying. The harvest machines were disabled, helpless. But the humans did not stop. This is slaughter, Minho said. The battle is won. Why continue? Nari understood. Because if they let even one escape, it might rebuild, might come back, might attack another world. The humans are making sure that cannot happen. It took another 30 minutes. The humans destroyed every single harvest machine in the system. Everyone. When they were done, nothing remained. Just debris and silence, total battle time 6 hours. Hyunwoo tried to speak but could not find words. The harvest had been unstoppable. They had destroyed worlds, wiped out species, and 12 human ships had defeated them in 6 hours. Open a channel, Governor Daehyun said. I need to speak with them. Hyunwoo opened the channel. Human fleet, this is Governor Daehyun of Velrath. We want to thank you. You saved us. You saved our world. The response came quickly. The voice sounded tired now. Acknowledged. Be advised, we are coming down. We need to talk. Face to face. Of course, Daehyun said. Land at the capital spaceport. You are welcome here. You are heroes. The human voice said something that made Hyunwoo's blood run cold. We are not heroes. And you are not saved. We need to talk. The human ships landed at dawn. The sky was still orange from the fires, but the machines were gone. For the first time in 3 cycles, the sky was clear of harvest ships. Thousands of Velrathi gathered at the spaceport. They wanted to see their saviors, to thank them, to celebrate. Governor Daehyun stood at the front with his officials. Captain Minho and his officers stood at attention. Medical staff, including Jisoo, waited with supplies to help any wounded humans. Hyunwoo stood with Nari watching the ships. They looked strange up close, scarred, damaged. Pieces of metal were welded over holes. Paint was burned away. These ships had seen many battles before Velrath. They do not look like advanced warships, Nari said quietly. They fought like advanced warships, Hyunwoo replied. The largest ship's ramp lowered. Everyone went quiet. This was first contact with humanity. A moment they would remember forever. 3 figures walked down the ramp. They wore armor that was as scarred as their ships. Plates were dented. Pieces were missing. But they walked with confidence. With purpose. The lead figure stopped at the bottom of the ramp. Reached up. Removed the helmet. It was a woman. She looked nothing like any species Hyunwoo had seen. Her face was different. Her eyes were different. But what struck him most was the expression. She looked tired, sad, but also determined. She spoke in that strange language. A small device on her armor translated. I am Commander Jia of the Earth Expeditionary Fleet. These are my officers, Lieutenant Donghyun and Lieutenant Somi. Governor Daehyun stepped forward. Commander, I am Governor Daehyun. On behalf of all Velrath, I thank you. You saved us when no one else would. You risked your lives for strangers. We are forever in your debt. Jia looked at him for a long moment. Then she shook her head. We need to talk. Somewhere private, the celebration stopped. Something in her voice made everyone nervous. They gathered in the government building. Just the core leadership. Daehyun, Minho, Nari, Hyunwoo, and a few others. The 3 humans sat across from them. You saved us, Daehyun said again. The harvest is gone. This harvest fleet is gone, Jia corrected. But there are more. Many more. The room went cold. What do you mean? Minho asked. Lieutenant Donghyun pulled up a hologram. It showed a map of the galaxy. Red dots marked harvest locations. There were hundreds of them. Thousands. The harvest is not one fleet, Donghyun explained. It is a network. When one fleet is destroyed, others learn from it. Adapt. This fleet sent data before we destroyed the command ship. Data about this world. Data about you. Other harvest fleets will come. Stronger ones. Smarter ones. When? Nari asked. Weeks, maybe days. We cannot know for sure. Then we will fight them, Minho said. Like you showed us. Jia shook her head. You cannot win. We destroyed this fleet because we surprised them, used tactics they had not seen. Next time they will be ready. They will adapt to our methods. And there will be more of them. Many more, so what do we do? Daehyun's voice shook. We just survived. We have hope again. You were saying it was all for nothing? No, Jia said firmly. Not for nothing. You survived. That matters. But you cannot stay here. This world is marked now. The harvest will come back, and next time no one can save it. You want us to evacuate, Hyunwoo said quietly. Leave our home. Yes, the room erupted. Everyone talking at once, arguing, refusing. This was their world. Their home. 3 cycles of fighting, all their sacrifices, and now they had to leave anyway? Enough! Daehyun's voice cut through the noise. Everyone went quiet. The old governor looked at Jia. Where would we go? The coalition has made it clear we are not welcome. Other worlds will not take refugees from a harvest-marked planet. We would be spreading the danger to them. You would come with us, Lieutenant Somi said. To human space. But the coalition quarantined you, Nari said. You are isolated. Cut off, Jia smiled. It was not a happy smile. That is what the coalition thinks. But we have been busy for 200 cycles. We found others like you. Others the coalition abandoned. Others who needed help. We have been building a network. A home for those who have nowhere else to go. Why? Hyunwoo asked. The question had been bothering him since the humans arrived. Why do this? Why risk your lives for strangers? What do you gain? Jia stood and walked to the window. She looked out at the damaged city. My grandmother was a refugee. She fled a war on Earth. Another country took her in when no one else would. She always said we must do the same. Help others because we can. Because it is right. Because someone helped us once. She turned back to face them. You asked what we gain. Nothing. We gain nothing. We lose ships. We lose people. We spend resources we can barely afford. But we do it because if we do not, who will? The coalition? She laughed bitterly. They abandoned you. They will abandon others. Someone has to help. We decided it would be us. You could have stayed safe, Minho said. Stayed in your own space. Let the galaxy burn. We could have, Dongyun agreed. But that is not who we are. Humans do not hide while others suffer. We fight even when we should not. Even when it makes no sense. We fight because someone needs us to. Daehyun sat down heavily. How long do we have to evacuate? 3 weeks. Maybe 4. We have transport ships coming. We will take everyone who wants to come. And if people want to stay? Minho asked. Jia looked at him. Then they die. I am sorry, but that is the truth. The harvest does not negotiate, does not show mercy. You stay, you die. Jisoo had been quiet until now. She thought of Yuna, of all the children in her hospital. Will there be room for everyone? Yes, Somi said. We have room. Then I have another question, Jisoo said. Why did the coalition reject you? The real reason. Not the official one. The 3 humans looked at each other. Finally, Jia spoke. Because we refuse to obey. The coalition is not an alliance of equals. It is a hierarchy. Older species on top. Newer species on bottom. They wanted Earth to be grateful. To be subordinate. To accept our place and earn our way up over centuries. And you said no. Nari guessed. We said no. We said we would join as equals or not at all. They said that was arrogance. That we needed to learn humility. We said humility is accepting weakness you cannot change. This was weakness we could change. So we did. You fought them, Hyunwoo said. We fought them, Jia confirmed. We lost more ships than I can count. More people than I want to remember. But we won. They put a quarantine around Earth and called us barbarians, fine. We are barbarians. But we are free barbarians. And now you help others, Daehyun said slowly, understanding. Others the coalition has failed. Yes, because the coalition failed us too once. We know how it feels. Outside the sun was rising higher. The orange sky was fading to blue. Hyunwoo walked to the window and looked out. His home, his world. And he had to leave it. When do we start evacuating? He asked. Now, Jia said. We start now. Over the next days, human engineers helped repair Velrathi ships. Human medics helped in the hospitals. Human soldiers helped organize the evacuation. They worked alongside the Velrathi like they had known each other for years. Taeyang met a human pilot named Junho. They talked about flying. About combat. Junho showed him some of the tricks he used in battle. Moves that seemed impossible. How do you learn to fly like that? Taeyang asked. Junho shrugged. Practice. And being willing to fail. Coalition pilots fly by the book. By the rules. They are good. But they are predictable. We do not have a book. We just fly. Is that not dangerous? Everything is dangerous. But at least this way we are dangerous too. In the hospital, Jisoo watched a human medic work. She used techniques Jisoo had never seen. Asked about medicines Jisoo had never heard of. Do you heal everyone? Jisoo asked. No matter who they are? Everyone, the medic confirmed. Human, alien, enemy, friend. If they are hurt, we help. That seems inefficient, Jisoo said. Maybe, but it is right. Little Yuna watched the humans with wide eyes. Are they angels? She asked Jisoo. Jisoo smiled. No, little one. They are something better. What? They are people who chose to care. 3 weeks later, Hyunwoo stood in a transport ship looking at Velrath through the window. His home was getting smaller, farther away. Soon it would just be a dot. Then nothing. First time leaving? A voice asked. Hyunwoo turned. It was Lieutenant Dongyun. The human officer looked tired. Everyone looked tired, yes, Hyunwoo said. I was born there. I thought I would die there. You almost did. I know. Hyunwoo looked back at the planet. Commander Jia said we are going to human space. 2 other refugees. How many are there? Dongyun was quiet for a moment. 23 species. 47 worlds. Over 2 billion people. All refugees. All abandoned by the coalition. All saved by humans. 2 billion, Hyunwoo repeated. How do you support so many? It is not easy. We struggle. We sacrifice, but we manage, because we must. The transport ship moved away from Velrath. Hyunwoo saw dozens of other ships around them. The entire population was leaving. Everything they could carry was packed. Everything else was left behind. In another transport, Nari sat with Governor Daehyun. The old governor looked even older now, tired, sad. I failed them, Daehyun said quietly. I was supposed to protect them. Protect our world. And now we are running. You kept them alive, Nari said. You held out for 3 cycles. You gave Hyunwoo time to send that message. Without you, we would all be dead. The coalition failed us, Daehyun said. I called them every day. Begged for help. They said there were procedures. Forms to fill. Approvals needed. By the time they finished discussing, we would have been extinct. Nari pulled up her datapad. I have been researching. Reading everything I can about humanity. About Earth. Do you know why the coalition really rejected them? Jia said they refused to be subordinate. That is part of it. But there is more. Earth had resources the coalition wanted. Rare minerals. Strategic location. They thought humans would be easy to control. A young species, primitive, grateful for the opportunity to join galactic civilization. But humans were not grateful. No. Humans asked questions. Why are resources distributed unevenly? Why do older species get more votes? Why are some worlds protected while others are abandoned? The coalition said these were the rules. Always had been. Humans said the rules were wrong. Daehyun smiled slightly. I can see why the coalition did not like that. The coalition said humans were arrogant, aggressive, dangerous. But I think the truth is simpler. Humans were inconvenient. They asked uncomfortable questions. So the coalition locked them away and called it quarantine. And now those dangerous humans are saving us. Yes. Funny how that works. In a fighter transport, Taeyang sat with his squadron. They were flying escort for the civilian ships. Around them, human fighters flew in formation. It was strange flying alongside them. These were the same ships that destroyed the harvest in 6 hours. Sora flew next to him. I have been thinking about what Junho said, about flying without rules. And, Taeyang asked, and I think he is right, we were trained to fly by the book. Follow procedures. Never deviate. It made us predictable. The harvest could predict us. That is why we lost so many. So what do? We learn. We watch the humans, we adapt. If we survive, if we get a new home, we will need to defend it, and we cannot do that by following the same old rules. Taeyang looked at the human fighters. Each one flew slightly differently. Each pilot had their own style. Do you think they will teach us? I think they will. Junyo already offered. A warning alarm sounded. Hyunwoo's screen flashed red in the main transport. Incoming! Harvest ships. It was too early. They were supposed to have weeks. But the harvest had adapted. They had come back faster, smarter. Commander Jia's voice came over all channels. All civilian transports continue to the jump point. Do not stop. Do not engage. Defense fleet intercept. Hyunwoo watched his sensors. 20 harvest ships. Not as many as before. But enough. More than enough. How many human ships? He asked Donghyun. 8. We left some behind to finish evacuation. 8 against 20. And we have no defenses. The humans will handle it. How can you be so sure? Donghyun looked at him. Because that is what we do. The human defense fleet moved to intercept. 8 ships against 20. But Taeyang noticed something. Velrathi fighters were moving too. His squadron. Sora's squadron. Others, what are they doing? Nari asked, watching from her transport. They are helping, Daehyun said. They are fighting. Taeyang opened a channel to the human fleet. Human fighters, this is Velrathi Squadron 7. Permission to assist, a moment of silence. Then Junho's voice. Permission granted. Follow our lead. Do what we do. And Taeyang? Do not die. That is an order. Yes, sir. The battle was different this time. The harvest had adapted to human tactics. They were ready for the ramming attacks, the suicide drones, the nuclear weapons. They countered every move, but the humans adapted faster. They tried new things. Impossible things. And the Velrathi pilots followed. Taeyang watched Junho stop his ship in space. 3 harvest machines flew past. Taeyang copied the move, stopped, waited, then fired. He destroyed 1 harvest machine. Good, Unyo called. Now do it again, but add a spin this time. Taeyang did not understand why, but he trusted Junho. He stopped, spun, fired. 2 more harvest machines destroyed. Sora used a human tactic. She flew directly at a harvest ship, then dodged at the last second. The harvest machine could not turn fast enough. It crashed into one of its own ships. "You are learning," a human pilot called. That was beautiful, but the battle was hard. 2 human ships were destroyed. 3 Velrathi fighters. The harvest kept coming. Then Hyunwoo saw something on sensors. "More ships. Human ships! Coming from the jump point." 20 human transport ships had turned around. They were not warships, just transport ships. But they came back anyway. What are they doing? Dongyun asked. Those ships have no weapons, but they did have engines. En masse. The transport ships rammed into harvest machines, sacrificing themselves to protect the evacuation, just like the warships did. They are civilians, Nari said in shock. Those transports are full of human civilians. Refugees from other worlds. And they came back to help. Because that is what humans do, Daehyun said quietly. They do not abandon people. The battle turned. The harvest could not fight enemies willing to sacrifice everything. Could not adapt to people who fought without fear. The last harvest ship was destroyed, but the cost was high. 5 human ships destroyed, 7 Velrathi fighters, hundreds of lives lost. The evacuation continued. They jumped to faster-than-light travel, left Velrath behind. Hyunwoo watched his homeworld disappear. Will we ever see it again? He asked. Maybe, Donghyun said. Someday. When the harvest is defeated. When it is safe. Maybe then. 4 days later they arrived. Human space. Hyunwoo looked at the sensors and could not believe what he saw. Dozens of worlds. Hundreds of stations. Thousands of ships. All different species. All refugees. All thriving. This is what you built, Nari said in wonder. In 200 cycles. While the coalition ignored you. You built this. We built it together, Gio said. She stood with them on the observation deck. Not just humans. Everyone. All the species the coalition abandoned. We helped each other. Built something new. Something better. The transports approached a massive station. Docking ports opened. Velrathi ships entered, finding safe harbor. Governor Daehyun stood at the window. Tears ran down his face. We have a home. Yes, Gia said. You have a home. On the station, crowds waited. Humans, yes, but also dozens of other species, all waving, all welcoming. They had prepared food, medical supplies, housing, everything the Velrathi needed. Jisoo walked down the ramp holding Yuna's hand. A human medic met them. Welcome. We have set up hospitals, supplies, whatever you need. Why are you doing this? Jisoo asked. We can give you nothing. We have nothing. The medic smiled. You do not need to give us anything. You needed help. We helped. That is how it works here. Little Yuna looked up at Jisoo. I like this place. Taeyang met Junho on the station. The human pilot showed him to the fighter bays. You will train here. With us, learn our tactics. Then maybe teach us some of yours. We learn from everyone. The coalition would never do this, Taeyang said. Share their knowledge so freely. We are not the coalition, and that is the point. Over the following weeks, the Velrathi settled in. They found homes, found work, found purpose. Hyunwoo became a communications officer for the human network, monitoring for distress signals, just like the one he sent. One day, a new signal came in, from a species called the Talon. Their world was under attack. They begged for help. The coalition had abandoned them. Hyunwoo translated the message, played it for Gia. She listened, then nodded. Send a response. Tell them we are coming. What should I say? Hyunwoo asked. Gia smiled. Say coordinates received. Hold position, Hyunwoo typed the message, then added something. To anyone abandoned by the coalition, there is hope. Find the humans. They will not leave you behind, he sent it. The message scattered across space. Seeds thrown to the wind. Governor Daehyun found Hyunwoo later. I heard you sent a new message. Advertising our location. Telling others to come here. Yes, Hyunwoo said. Was that wrong? Daehyun shook his head. No, it was right. The humans saved us. Now we help them save others. That is how we repay them. By paying it forward, Hyunwoo said, using a human phrase he had learned.